So when I tell you I went down the rabbit hole, I went down the rabbit hole. Okay, so the reason they're doing this is because they have not figured out how to produce more goods to export than they do people. So they're preferring to export people in these labor programs to help other countries around the world because that's where a lot of their GDP comes from, right? So they still don't have the infrastructure to that they need. A lot of people in the country don't in the countries don't have the skills that they may need. Education isn't across the board in a lot of these countries. Okay? So the education level is not up to par. They really depend on imports. It's a lot. And all of it stems from way, 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 way back during the transatlantic slave trade. This stuff is still going on, like for real. Way, way back. Way, way back. It stems this is like a horrible thing, right? Because they're just now many African countries are just now getting free. Okay. So the legacy of colonialism is still there. And the mindsets, oh my gosh, it takes a while. It takes a while for people to, like, it takes literally new generations being born to end the mindset. Mindsets have to change because you're going to have older people still in charge, right? And they're going to have the mindset, right? Of the 1950s and the 1960s, you know what I'm saying? Over in many African countries. And then you have these younger people who are who think totally different, but they don't have the power to change anything. Okay? It's just mind-boggling. They want to change stuff. I mean, they want to change stuff, period, but like until they get into the position or gain enough power and influence to change the game, it's just gonna be like that. It's just I don't understand everything that goes on in African countries, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Like I said, they're newly free, and when I say free, independent, they're newly independent, but they still have that. They're still in bondage in a lot of ways. Okay, they're still in bondage, and a lot of it is economic, mental, a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. They just have to, it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute because, it's going to take a minute. Until they are able to become more innovative, right? And mass produce goods that the globe may need. I'm not talking, of course, everybody needs minerals and stuff like that. They have that, okay? But the problem is they don't have goods to export, like goods. Okay, so they export people, and they've been exporting people for a long time. Like, even when it comes down to energy, okay, energy, it's they can't afford it. I'm gonna show you what I was reading. When I tell you I was digging. Look at all this. I went down the rabbit hole. Okay, so yeah, they're still exporting people because that is a surefire way to bring money back into the economy. That's the way that they've always done it. That's the way that they've always exported people. Since before the transatlantic slave trade, they were exporting people into um the Arab nations. Yeah, that's how they fueled the economy, by exporting people. This was the surefire way to gain goods that they needed and money. Okay? But and this is why way back in the day when they wanted the slave trade to end, right? A lot of the people who participated in the slave trade in Africa did not want it to end because that was their money. That was their money, exporting people. That's how they got their money and their goods. Now, what they did with it, it was the kings or whoever else or whatever. But I don't know. But that's what happened. They got rid of their most skilled people and sent them to the West, okay, to build the United States of America, right? To build other places because that's what the Europeans came for, skill. And today, they Ghana and a lot of other countries are starting this labor program, okay, to contract out their most skilled agriculturalists, um, construction workers, people to work in hospitality. They're going to be sending them out. And when you send out your most skilled, there's no skill left in the country. What they're going to do is send back money. That's what they're going to send back money. When they send out these contracted workers, they're going to send money back to their families, okay, who are then going to spend money. Hopefully they spend money in the right ways to gain an education, open businesses instead of just build big houses, okay, because building the big house ain't going to do nothing, okay. It's really just not. Hopefully they do something with it, like, because how big you need a house, you know what I'm saying? You want to be able to keep the revenue going some kind of way, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, they're going to be just in and that really adds to their GDP. It's called remittances. I did a video on it. I think it's the one after this one. Yeah, it's crazy.